All right, that should fix the audio thing just so we can get that going. Um Welcome in. This is going to be the live stream for Ole Miss Kentucky. Um Once I get that pulled up, I am currently looking for that. And then for a second I'm going to have to probably pop up and change the TV manually. Where is this? But yeah, I appreciate everybody who's jumping in and joining. Hit that like and subscribe button. I am currently looking for it on the YouTube TV. There's times that you're looking for it and it just doesn't pop up like it normally should. That is the one thing I hate with streaming. Put a thumbs up in the chat if everybody can hear me. Okay. I would appreciate that. Um, I'm gonna move some cameras and oh, buddy, there's the window. Okay, back to what I was doing. But yeah, appreciate everybody joining in, just awaiting the kickoff. Um, there it is. All right, we're gonna see the end of Texas. Ooh, that's a big hit on their queue. All right, the new batch of games have rolled over. Yeah, but appreciate everybody who's jumping in. Kansas, Missouri, and we'll multi-box off of that. See what our options are. That's the winner. But anyway, on the big TV, we're gonna have Ole Miss, Kentucky. Multi-box will be Clemson, Troy, um, Ohio State, Grambling, which I think that's going to be just an absolute ass kicking. And what is the other game? But there's another Ohio, West Virginia is the other game. But it sounds like there was a lot of shit talking coming into this Missouri. Trying to get all the chords and everything. Working with a new setup here. But if this is your first time here, I appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. Help us grow this thing. That is something that we are trying to do. Trying to grow this platform, but really do appreciate you guys for coming in. Hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing. But we are awaiting the kickoff. Can unplug that. Ole Miss, Kentucky is going to be a 3:50 kickoff for some reason. So yeah, there's that. Just going to do some housekeeping here, but we are going to have the Michigan and Oklahoma game later tonight. That will be interesting. And then after that, we're going to have a post game call in show, live call in show, if that's something you're interested in as well. Be taking your guys' calls. That is something that we're going to be doing. Don't know. I will say if this turns into an absolutely ass kicking, we will most likely end the stream early. That is something to be said, but if you like this content, hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing. Getting it going here. But yeah, just trying to stay on top of it. Got final scores. Coming in, Ohio State is getting ready to kick off with Grambling. I'm sure that's going to be highly entertaining. Not, let's say that's going to be just an absolute ass kicking fiasco. But yeah, that is where we are at. The Rebs. I wonder if I move this light, if that helps any. Makes it a little darker on one side than the other, but yep, Lane Kiffin. We'll see if he's gonna get some revenge on this. We had no, Missouri is already there. SMU. Think they're going to kick a long field goal. Old Rhett is going to kick a long field goal. Greg McElroy on the call for today. Illinois is absolutely curb stomping Duke. Yeah, this Ohio State Grambling thing is going to be over before you know it. Rhett Lashley, how far is this? A 57-yard field goal. Kansas with a big run. Rashly trying to get the folks pumped up, but they're doing all the pregame stuff. Georgia's up only 11 on the fellas from Austin P. Kentucky doing all the stuff. They had to wait until Texas was done, of course, but appreciate everybody in the stream. Hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing. End of regulation. Going to OT with Baylor. A lot of people thought Baylor was kind of left for dead, so at least I did. I thought it was going to be, I thought it was Jover with them, so there's that. I'm going to have to move that light back over. We're going to have to put it right. Get it in about right there. That might fix that issue. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Georgia up big time. Looks like they're going to probably score before the end of the half. Ohio State's already on the board. Troy goes down and scores on Clemson. Wow. .350 kick, so we're 5 minutes out. I apologize. I gotta put this light where it needs to go. All right, I think I got that light where it needs to go. So there's that. We're just waiting on the kickoff. Just waiting on the kickoff. All right. And then we got overtime in at Baylor SMU. Ooh, Fran Brown got it to overtime. So Syracuse UConn's in overtime. A&M all over Utah State. Oregon scores in the first 40 seconds. Oof, that was a big hit. They're explaining the overtime rules and all that fun stuff. And we are here. The teams are taking the field, so we'll be underway shortly. In Florida, about to kick off soon. Yep. So that's where we're at. Ole Miss wearing the powder blue helmets. Get a live look at Austin Simmons. First SEC game. All right. Oh, Clemson's fan base is getting ready to melt down. Just looking at some stuff and um just looking at some stuff here. Um so they're getting ready to there's that. All right, we're getting ready for kickoff here. Baylor in for the touchdown. What are we looking for here? Can Ole Miss starts with the ball. Um just waiting on this. But yeah, here we go. Ole Miss in business, quick throw, Simmons getting it out. So Baylor just needs one stop and it's a wrap for them. I'm curious on how many points will Grambling score today. Okay. Ooh, Simmons sacked. Not off to a good start. That is a fourth down, some pushing and shoving. Where Sorry, I apologize. I am trying to make a bet here. Kentucky with the ball. That's got to be kick catch interference. We are getting there. So Ole Miss starts out with a penalty. Oh yeah, he hit him way early. Tennessee's already up big. Just checking it around. Kentucky. Um. All right, Kentucky with the ball. Have to see what Calzada does. All right. Will Kentucky get some points on this opening drive? Is the question. Um. Hmm. It's good defense on that. And there's going to be a penalty. Yeah, that's not ideal. Just placing some wagers here, and they're showing the replay. That's rough. Forty-five, 45. Uh-oh, Jennings is hurt for SMU. Kentucky punt. Not a great one. It's going to roll out at about the 36, so I'm sure Kiffin and co are thrilled about that. Oh, they almost had a pick there. Jennings is on 1 foot for SMU right now. That's not a good sign. Uh-oh, SMU's got to kick a field goal, but that's that. Um, they missed it. That is tough for that kid. They missed the field goal. Trying to see. Pushed it wide right. Okay, here we go. But yeah, if you guys could do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, help us grow this thing, that would be awesome. I would say Baylor's going to run it 3 times and they're going to kick a field goal and that's going to be the game. So yeah, there's that. So here we go. Oh, I forgot. I had Georgia on this. Ooh, Austin Simmons turned ankle. That looks very unfortunate. His ankle's messed up. But he was riding the exercise bike, probably just trying to stay loose. Yeah, he's back on there. Or, woo, sorry about that. West Virginia at Ohio. Now that is dynamic. Big play hit by Ole Miss. There's tons of red out there. Lane Kiffin going, hurry up. Nothing really doing there. The Gators kick off at 4:15. They are showing the Rich Rod stuff. And how he got it going at Jackson State. But yeah. All right. Um, that's an incompletion. All right, 3rd down. See if Kentucky can get off the field. See if they can. Yep, that's 3rd down. They call that an incomplete. Yep, incomplete pass. Old Miss punt. See what? No, it was no. Oh, field goal, 51 yards. And a punt would have been better. You are breathing life into this Kentucky team. Well, there's a missed field goal. We'll check out what Tennessee's doing against these Tennessee. They are just ESPN is just salivating over this Oklahoma game. Oh, commercial break. I have got to grab this TV. All right, apologize for that, everybody. But had to get that swapped. Had to get that game swapped out. Baylor ends up pulling it out against SMU. That is interesting stuff there. Just looking at my bets for the day. Baylor with the upset. All right. West Virginia and Ohio are underway. What do I got in that top right box? Troy Clemson. Yep, just checking all the games out here. Make sure I'm on the same page with what I got going on. But yeah, I think we'll have a interesting time. But yeah, if you guys are watching on Twitter, come on over to YouTube and help us out with this one. We were trying to get there. Kentucky. Oh no, that is a big play. They are getting gashed. I would say it's coming back though, because it's most likely a hold. Have to see what the flag is. Kansas is up on Missouri. Ohio State's up 14-0. I gotta fix it. Sorry about that. I had to try to fix that. Mike Gundy is getting his doors blown off. That came back 2nd and 11. Could have been another hold there. Oh no. What a drop. That is a rough one. Ohio State up 21-0. I'll be interested to see when they get the guys out at Ohio State. Who's that punting? West Virginia punting. That was a bad deal there. 4th down upcoming for Kentucky. Ooh. Oklahoma State's quarterback just got blown up. Fourth and 2. Stoops is going to call timeout. No. Yeah, he did. Yep, that's where we're at. Wonder if they've got the. Oh yeah, I forgot. Colorado is on. Just checking it out here. They just. I enjoy the streaming aspect of it. But the configuration of this whole multi-view, there's games on that you're trying to get that you can't get. It's just a big pain in the ass, really. Oh, how does that? A&M. Change multi-view is what I was looking for. Okay, I've got that. Kentucky punt. Their options are seriously limited. We got the Gators on. Simmons. I have a feeling this is going to be another defensive struggle. Um, Oregon most likely going for 2 to make it 21-0 in the first quarter. Direct snap run, first down. Flag on the play in Oregon. Florida looks like they're getting after it. Bad snap. And that's a pick. That is not a good turnover. Just kind of sailed on him. All right, so there we go. Kentucky is in business. Mm, did not see that corner. I don't believe so. It's 20-0 Oregon. I think Landing's going to roll it up on Dan Landing's going to run it up on Gundy. Missouri down big early. Kentucky keeping it on the ground. I think that's Kentucky's biggest key to victory is if they can keep it on the ground. I think Ole Miss is going to have issues trying to stop that. Um, I was checking the duel. No, Ole Miss bows up there. Missouri can't do nothing. First down, Calzada. Man, they're showing all of it. Don't tell me Oregon scored again. Oh, no PI. Wow, they got away with one on that one. Nah, the feet got tangled. He didn't really hook him. Mark Stoops is going ape shit. Nope. Got around the edge. Kentucky has came to play today. I mean, it couldn't be a thing to where it's 2 years in a row. Because if Kentucky scores here, the Ole Miss fans are going to start going ape shit. I do believe. Ooh, fullback handoff. They giving him the first down. Yep, first down. South Florida's quarterback is elusive. But I also want to say that I think that the level of athlete that South Florida is facing today is a little bit different than what you seen last week in Boise State. Gundy, oh my gosh. Hopefully For Gundy's sake, they better have got that or it's gonna get ugly. Mm. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Kentucky called timeout. So yeah, if anything, what do you guys think what do you think the big keys are for victory? And tonight we've got the Oklahoma Michigan game. West Virginia making some inroads. Doesn't look like there's an empty seat in Lexington today. Big possession here for Kentucky. Ole Miss call timeout. Yep. Wow, I'm surprised they. Wow, I guess it's that close to the end of the first quarter. They're, I guess, not going to TV timeout us. So Missouri is just getting their ass kicked right now. Oh no. That's a Kentucky touchdown. This is basically a nightmare being relived. Oh boy, it's gonna get testy in old hotty toddy land. West Virginia gets in with the touchdown. Yep, that's a Kentucky touchdown. That is a big boom. Mm, that is a big boom. And also that is that's points off a turnover. So they realistically just stole a possession from you. Touchback on the kick. Clemson and Troy are delayed. Georgia, Austin P are delayed. Guess we could check some scores while we're waiting. I'll roll over the scores the next. I don't know if running the quarterback is a good idea, Lane. Kiffin going tempo here. Simmons is bricked up here, man. The guy is wound tight. A couple games delayed. Tennessee's up 31-0. Another pick. Oh no. Lane is pissed. All right, Ole Miss defense. What'd they do? Just twist it? Nope. Simmons got hit, but I think we're gonna. Oh no, Kentucky. That's a face mask. Really shocked they didn't call it. Pretty rough that I can. Oh, they did call it. Oh, that's the YouTube. Gotta repost this one. Oh, Calzada sacked. Ooh, gotta get that out of there. $1. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just retweeting links here. Nope, there goes that man. Carnell Tate. That guy's going to be a first round draft pick in the spring. I think he's eligible this year. Ooh, DJ Lagway running around. Ole Miss, Kentucky at commercial. Oregon up 20-0. Ohio State 21-0. They are giving us bonus coverage of Georgia Tech Garner Webb. Yeah, Ohio State all over Grambling. It is 28-0. So there's that. Like I said tonight, Michigan, Oklahoma, and then live call-in show after. Um, if that's something you guys are interested in. Do we go blue or black? Let's go black for a little bit. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, folks. We are at the mercy of the networks. We have commercial break. Whoa. So yeah, there's that. Oklahoma State lining up for a field goal. Um, is that a safety? Wake Forest and Western Carolina. Yeah, so Missouri comes out with a safety. Missouri, it's looking up. Player hurt for South Florida. Lance Leopold is losing his mind. They are arguing in the Kansas Missouri game that the kid batted the ball backwards. It's hard to say that he batted it, but you could argue that he was trying to pick it up. But there's that. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Lance Leopold is pissed, which he's got every right to be. Calzada, oh, inside bubble screen. Look at just some green grass. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Um, that is pretty much where we're at though. Kentucky field goal. They're up 10-0. Kentucky is up 10-0 on Ole Miss. Oh, that's a missed opportunity for Florida there. Um, if you can. That's the only one that you can Show. I got you. What that is. Yeah, I think I got that figured out now. Since we're doing the call-in show tonight, we will take a break at halftime, just to recharge the batteries. I think that's something to be said there. Austin Simmons has got to get some confidence back. Um, Ball hits an offensive lineman in the head. Florida kicking a field goal off the rip. That's not ideal. I will say Kiffin is not he's not being gun shy with the Simmons kid. I will say that. Um it the whole two picks thing, it's basically he's out there still throwing it in the teeth of the defense and still being across the middle or still throwing it across the middle. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Simmons on the run, doesn't get it. Lane's got a decision to make here. And it looks like Simmons is I don't want to say he looked injured, but he didn't get out of the break as fast as he should have. Tennessee is absolutely lighting up East Tennessee. I think they're gonna. Oh, Lane, you sneaky guy. So he runs basically puts a wide receiver in a tight end position and runs a pop pass. Smart by him. Direct snap, touchdown. So Ole Miss is back in business for the most part. So I mean that was a hell of a play call by Lane though. That was a hell of a pop pass, I will say. Oregon just scored again. It is slowly but surely becoming hell on earth for Mike Gundy in the realm of things. I will have to say. Um I think that Gundy is having major issues. But yeah, so Ole Miss is back in business. Clemson and Troy are still under like a lightning delay. I gotta get this mic set up to where it's close enough to me, but yeah, so that's Florida. I am all, as some people would say, I am all whopper jawed here. Florida's only up by a field goal. I can get this together. Um, Florida up by a field goal. If you're new here, just checking it out for the first time, hit that like and if I could speak, subscribe button. We got about currently between all the screens, I got 4 screens rolling. 4 screens going. 7 different games I've got an eyeball on, except the Clemson Troy game is at a delay. But yeah, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe. Ole Miss, Kentucky are at commercial right now. Missouri, I got West Virginia, Ohio. West Virginia's leading on that. I just like to read the scores off for some of the other folks that may be only watching one screen and they only get to see the ticker. But yeah. I think Georgia's also at a delay. SMU lost, pull your donations. Julian Lewis is playing quarterback for Colorado. So there's that. If anybody is interested. Check out the whole gamut of scores. I think Ole Miss desperately needed that touchdown. I think that touchdown was a huge touchdown for just more than other reasons. Because I think that was a huge morale boost, to be honest. They're going to show it. That DB that had that kid in coverage for the long pass play, he just wasn't jiving. I need to get this because that is in the way. I think Kentucky's onto something here. If they just come out and run it right at Ole Miss, I think Kentucky can have some serious success on the ground if they want to. But they just cannot give up on pounding the rock. It is now 27-3. Mike Gundy is getting his doors blown off. Mm, that is a bad drop. Mm. Kid from Ohio just got lit up. What are we reviewing here? Yeah, Oregon's fired up. South Florida's quarterback is even though their offensive productivity was bad, but I don't know if that's going to matter today. Grambling's quarterback getting after it. 28-0. Incomplete. It is a full production down there in Gainesville. Florida's up 3-0. But like I said, tonight we're gonna have Oklahoma, Michigan. Golish and South Florida are starting to have some success on the ground against Florida. This has got to be the longest commercial break in history of football. That is a first down, I believe, for South Florida. Yeah, they're going to give it to him. That is not a catch. Although anymore, who the hell knows what a catch is? Hmm. Fourth down for Calzada. He's down. That might not be a first down for South Florida. I know we're doing the Ole Miss thing here, but for formatting purposes. Oh, they kept it a first down. They upheld it, so Kansas, Missouri's almost getting ready to go to halftime. The Ole Miss game's going to run long. I have a feeling. Although they shouldn't run it long. Hmm, that was not smart. All right. Because Florida started 45 minutes after South Florida started 45 minutes after the start of this game, and they're almost done with the first quarter. They're about 5 minutes behind. Yeah, I guess that's hands to the face. I mean, I guess it's not. I guess it's. I know. But we will take a break for halftime. Too many men on the field. What's the flag for this time? Illegal shift. Gotcha. Mm. Ooh, that's also another thing that Ole Miss can do is they could get Kentucky out on the perimeter and make them tackle because it looks like that's what they're struggling with. That guy's season's over. So yeah, there we go. South Florida's giving the Gators all they can handle. Julian Sain's still in the game for Ohio State. I'm sure the South Florida equipment team is another Simmons run. Touchdown. Nah, he's short. Foot and a half. Mm-mm-mm. He's short by a foot and a half. This is the game that is. Whoa, I'm gonna do that. But this is the game that's gonna take forever. They better be talking to the people in Norman because that's what it is. Direct snap, stuffed. He got stuffed on that direct snap. Just absolutely stuffola. But yeah, they have some heavy beef in the backfield here. Nope, Ole Miss is in. Ole Miss is in. Dunking on UK. All right, I'm just updating some notes here. It's going to be probably 34-3 in the Oregon, Oklahoma State. I think Clemson's about to get back underway. Mm, just want to look at something here. Just doing a little housekeeping here. Anybody got the Traeger fired up today? Um, Notre Dame. Think Georgia and them are about to get back underway. South Florida going for a field goal. So yeah, that's where we're at. So that's all knotted up in Gainesville. They are now in the second quarter. It is a tough road out there in Eugene. Ohio State has scored again. It is 35-0. Missouri ends up with a field goal. It is 21-18. KU still on top. Tennessee's up 47-0. Yikes. See if Calzada can. He's only 4 of 9 for 25 yards today. Calzada is. Holding the snap. Stoops has got to be irked. He just burned his final timeout because they didn't have the personnel. They didn't have the personnel groupings in, right? So here we go out of the timeout. Stoops looks like he is letting the offensive guys have it a little bit. That look of what the hell you guys doing? Ohio threatening West Virginia. They're in the red zone. Calzada with the completion. Looks like about a 9-yard gain there. It's kind of getting chippy down there in Gainesville. What's the flag for? Roughing the passer, huh? Yeah, he did take a shot at him there. Not saying I agree with it, but 15 yards on top of that, so turns into about a 25-yard gain. If I'm Kentucky, I keep pounding the rock. Florida State with a record 11 touchdowns today. Kentucky pounding the rock, another first down. Ohio State heads into halftime, 35-0. And I am sure Kirby and Dabo are thrilled that they're basically missing a whole half of football. Ooh, got tangled up there. No PI. Big play for Florida. Lagway. Quick screen. Oh man. Ugh. Ugh. Trying not to yawn. Just got to get comfortable here. So Kentucky's in Ole Miss territory, about to be in field goal range. Yeah. Yikes. Incompletion. So there's that. Ohio gets in the end zone. They are up on West Virginia. Kentucky's getting 5-6 yards a carry. If I'm Kentucky, I don't know why you would go away from it. Just at the 5-minute mark. That's a touchdown, Florida. Oh, almost in the end zone there for Kentucky. 4th and 5. There was like 3 guys going up to pick that off. There was a hold there. Oh, so they wiped the touchdown off the board for Florida. Kentucky kicks a field goal. 1-point advantage. Ole Miss. Yeah, this is what it is. What is Florida's going backwards and it looks like a hold. This is almost a 2-hour first half. I thought is that out of bounds? Nope, got it there. First and 10, Florida. Lanning is going to I think he's gonna try to put up another touchdown before the half. 31 seconds left. Yeah, he's definitely trying to put up another touchdown. Old Miss back with it. On the perimeter, Old Miss can just run around the folks at Kentucky. Three minutes left. First and goal for Oregon. Yep, Dan got him another touchdown. Yeah. It is going to be 41-3 in Outson. Old Miss about to be in the red zone. Not a whole bunch going on right now. Clemson is resuming play at 5:20. Florida wanted a PI on that one. Old Miss stuffed in the backfield. Simmons taking some time. They're going to take it to the 2-minute timeout and talk about it. And that field goal's good for Florida. Here we go with this again. All right. Pretty much everybody is at commercial. Except Clemson is going to resume play. New Mexico almost gets beat by Idaho State. Wow. Missouri tied it up. Colorado's only up 7-17, but at halftime we're gonna take a break. Um, and then also if you're new and enjoy this content, hit that like and subscribe button. And I know a lot of you are watching on Twitter. Come on over from Twitter and hit the like and sub. Oklahoma State is down 38 points. All right, Troy and Clemson are back at it. West Virginia, Ohio. Arkansas's up 14-0. Pig Suey's running wild. So there's that. It's gonna be almost a 2-hour first half for Ole Miss, Kentucky. It'd be good if Ole Miss could roll it and get a field goal here or something. It would at least help their cause. Ole Miss were 10-point favorites. Cincinnati is blowing Bowling Green out. The Eddie George hype train is at the station. But although I think Eddie will do good at Bowling Green. 4th and 3, Kiffin better get this. Looks like we're probably kicking a field goal. I would say you're going to kick a field goal here if I was a gambling man. Because I feel like you need to take the points because you don't know what the second half will be. All right, here we go. Minute 10 left. Ole Miss is lining up to kick a field goal. As good as gold. Ole Miss 17, Kentucky 14. Did Ohio just score again? Ooh, Ohio up on West Virginia. Mark Stoops is the longest tenured head coach in the SEC. That's interesting. Mm. Can't hardly believe that Dabo's been at Clemson for 18 years. Wow. Minute 5 left. Yeah, they're just going to pound the rock, I think, to get out of the half. Calzada can't hear the play. It was a big run. Kentucky at midfield. Stoops does not have any timeouts. Basically, a first down gets you in field goal range. Oh, missed tackle, gets right out of bounds. Ooh. Got to be looking something to the sidelines. But it would be the most Kentucky thing ever. There is mass confusion. Mass confusion at the end of the half here for Kentucky on offense. Too many men on the line of scrimmage. You got 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. That is just uh-oh, flag on the play. Oh, that really takes him out of field goal range. Yep. Hooked him. That was an easy call. We got 3 safeties back deep. Does Calzada throw it in the end zone? I mean, that's your only option at this point. Ole Miss calls timeout. Florida back with it. This is on pace. This is almost going to be a 2-hour first half. What's Calzada going to do? They got 2 guys standing at the end line or at the goal line. And he's just going to run it. Oh, a pitch. And that'll do it for the first half. I would say it's an illegal forward pass. I mean, yeah, great. So, all right, we'll be back with the second half in a few. See you guys after the break. All right, and we're back. Ooh, we need to close. All right, we're back. Old Miss is, well, they were going to start with it, but Kentucky already going 3-0, so there's that. Yeah. Here come the Rebs, 4-point lead. They need a touchdown, but in other news, Clemson, oh boy, coming out as flat as a tire. Mm-mm-mm. Drop. Oof. Oh, anyway, guess we'll check on some updated scores from around college football. Mm, Austin P, Georgia has not resumed yet. Idaho, New Mexico, New Mexico up by 10. Ole Miss punts 49-0. Ohio State 48-3. Oklahoma State, Oregon on top. Clemson down 10-0. Very interesting. Um, Ole Miss is up by 4. Tennessee's rolling. Kansas only up by a field goal. Fresno is on top of Oregon State. Georgia Tech is rolling Gardner Webb. 24-7 on the fourth. Colorado looks like they're going to pick up their first win. Navy and UAB are tied, which that's shocking. Wisconsin's up 4 on Middle Tennessee State. West Virginia's down a tub. Mm. 6-9 in Gainesville. 28-7. Sacramento State, Sac State up on Nevada. We got Utah, Cal Poly about to kick off soon. Cal, Texas Southern, Missouri State, Marshall, North Carolina. Been battling this all day. All right, there we go. And then it was a damn near a 2 hour half. Ohio State scores again. It is 56-0. Yeah, it's all right. Kentucky back at it. Pretty big contingent. There's quite a bit of red. Well, there's quite a bit of red sprinkled throughout the crowd there. I just find it very off-putting that schools in the SEC have turf. Nothing doing there. Calzada this season of 11 plus yards down the field is 1 for 18 for 16 yards. Calzada throwing it away. Yep, the Wildcats. Missouri is threatening. Starting to get dusk there at Ohio, West Virginia. Yep, there's a hold. I cannot believe Clemson is down 10. And Troy is just hitting big plays. Ooh, Ole Miss fields the punt. All right. Simmons deep. Uh, that's completed. I think it might be time to it might start getting ugly here for the Wildcats. Might be that time that Kiffin just opens it wide open. Missouri up 4, Missouri in the end zone. Is 48-3. Old Miss is matriculating it down the field. Clemson makes Troy punt. Yeah, it's not going well for Grambling, which I kind of think they knew that that was going to happen. Mm, another handoff here. Yep, he's in the end zone. That didn't feel good, I bet. Ooh, Ole Miss holding. Verdell Brown. Oregon is kicking a long field goal. Dan Lanning not real thrilled. I think he's going to let this kid kick that field goal. Ole Miss backed up second and goal from the 18. A lot of possibilities here, but that's pretty much where it's at. Ooh. Is Kiffin going to kick the field goal? Ooh, the whole team was running sprints after the game. Ole Miss kicks the field goal. It's good. So there's that. It is not going well for Clemson. Mm, that is a problem. Huh. Commercial break. Clemson is up 17 or 6. Troy is up 16 to nothing on Clemson right now. A lot of the guys that are backups are getting a lot of run right now for the Buckeyes. All right. This is where we're at. I'm going to check. Has Georgia resumed play yet? Georgia has just finally resumed play. That is going to be I feel like a long evening for Billy. Alex Smith, Teddy Bruschi. Oof. Yeah, the Clemson fans are on the fire everybody. Something is going on wonky today because my phone is not looking or acting right. I'll go out on a limb here and say if Ole Miss marches down and scores, it is how do I want to say it? Uh, it's I wouldn't say it's curtains, but it's pretty much all but over. But I'll be shocked. ABC needs to get this game rolling, is what they need to do. Because I don't think they'll hold the Oklahoma. Um, I don't think they'll hold the Oklahoma Michigan game because Ole Miss Kentucky was almost 2 hours for the first half. Hmm. Even with the backups, Dan's going to run it up. Calzada got a man. That's a big play. Kentucky saying, don't count us out yet. Just a double move that he bid on. They got a targeting review in the Clemson game. I think that might be something that might get him back into it. There's a lot going on right now. So they ejected the kid. Touchdown, Kentucky. Gives Kentucky life. What does limited coverage mean? A ton of these games have ran super long today. Well, Troy's biggest thing is that if they go out and they hold them to a field goal, that's a major win for Troy. It is 63-0. Well, Clemson just found some life. So I'm curious, are they just going to cut this game off? Huh. That is a pick six for Oregon. It is about to be 62-3. Talk about having a bad day. Yeah, Oregon is making Oklahoma State look like a FCS team. Ohio State's third quarterback's getting loose. Tavion St. Clair. I'm curious if they're going to cut this Florida game off. That's what I'm kind of curious about. If they're going to cut Florida because Oklahoma, Michigan is about to come on in an hour. So Clemson only gets out of there with a field goal. Yikes. So that's best case scenario for Troy. Touchback. Tie ball game. Clemson only ends up with a. I'm wondering. See, we're almost at 3 hours and the third quarter's not over yet. And the thing that is rough on the thing that's rough for Clemson is that it's still in the first half. And for all intents and purposes, they could really just after that almost 2 hour break, they go back in for halftime. Oh, Simmons over the middle. What a catch. What a throw. Oregon with another pick six. It's going to be 69-3. Simmons out of the pocket. I'm not so sure if Oregon gets the ball back that they're not going to push the score. Oh, so here we are. Ole Miss is in about the 31 of Kentucky. There's a run. I think that's something that I don't feel like Lane's abandoned the run today, but they've Lacey's got over 100 yards. Gonna be some soul searching in Death Valley Junior. I know that. I really think they're gonna cut this Florida South Florida game off. Simmons on the keeper. That's a tough road to go there, young fella. Um, So that's where that's at. Ole Miss desperately needs a score. I think they need not a. I don't think a field goal cuts it. Lagway just threw a pick. There you. Austin Simmons rushing touchdown. Mm. Oklahoma State. That is a bad day. That is a bad day for Oklahoma State. Mm. Yeah, it is tough sledding for the paw print. Mm. So Ole Miss up a touchdown. Just really trying to see where they're going to get to. Also, I would like to know who keeps scheduling these games with like how does Ohio get West Virginia, Iowa State? How do they get all these Power 5 schools to come play them at their place? Which is bizarre to me on how they get that accomplished. Because technically Ohio should be a bye game unless Ohio is paying them to come. Yikes. The local news where I live is just a very interesting endeavor. See what Calzada can do. Bubble screen. Nothing doing. Tavion St. Clair in the game for the Buckeyes. Oh, I don't know if that's a catch or not. That could be up for debate. Or did they? Yep, they called it a catch. Okay. Calzada running for his life. That's going to be a Kentucky punt. Kentucky about to get the punt away. Mm. Austin Simmons, yeah. He is going to be a player. Ole Miss's last 3 drives: punt, field goal, touchdown. A long sustained touchdown drive here that didn't get off to the start that they were hoping for. Ooh. I think not Gundy, but I think Dan's gonna try to score another touchdown. I think he's going to. Just to say, because he can. That is the end of the third quarter. Unbelievable. It's still baffling to me that the South Florida game started 45 minutes after the Ole Miss game, and they're only 7 minutes behind them in game time, which is about 25-30 minutes. What a punt. Oh yeah, I forgot Missouri got rid of their hill. They're building that end zone in. Halftime in Clemson, or at Clemson. I wouldn't be shocked if Parker fakes it here. Nope, pushed it. So Troy misses a field goal going into halftime. Just interested to see where they're at on the field. So Oregon's on their side of the field. Ooh, Lagway. I'm also going to go out on a limb here and say I think, looking at this, I think that South Florida is better than what people think they are. Oh yeah, I gotta look and see what the Simmons throws a worm burner. Colorado's gonna probably win 31-7. UAB Navy still delayed. Now Wake Forest is delayed. That's unbelievable. Third and 12. Yeah, you're giving it right back to Kentucky on that one. Utah's already up 14-3. Mm, all right. When leading under Kiffin, they're 41-3. When trailing under Stoops, they're 6-62. That's a hell of an optic there. Mm. Yeah, there's starting to hit the turnstiles and Eugene or Alton. Missouri, Kansas still in a tight ball game. Kentucky just this whole second half, Kentucky hasn't been able to get anything going offensively, really. Lagway using his feet again, just got popped. That's unbelievable. But I think one of the reasons why Kentucky has struggled in the second half, I feel like they weren't doing what they were doing in the first half. They were not, pounding the rock like they were. Mm. So Missouri's going to go up 4. My thing is that if I'm Gundy, I just try to get first downs and run the clock out. That's what I feel like his best bet is just get out of there with somewhat of what's left of your ego. But I don't think down a touchdown. Oh no. A lot of the young kids in for Ohio State right now, and I mean a bunch like Bo Jackson, a couple others. Kentucky 3rd and 12 at midfield. I think Stoops goes for it. Oh, that's a backbreaker. I think he goes. You have 10 minutes, 3 timeouts. If you punt, Steve Angeli 417 yards. Yikes. Syracuse can't run the ball. Right there in the flat, wide open. That was a good play design. Got him, schemed him wide open. Yeah. So 1st and 10, and they are Kentucky is closing in on the end zone. So getting these guys out of that's a hold. No flag on that? Wow. There it is. But if you're Ole Miss, watch, you can see him stretch his jersey. That's ticky tack, but it's still a hold. So it pushes him back to the 25 for 2nd down. But see, here's the thing in a game like this. Kentucky's going to eat up a bunch of time to score. And what's more than likely going to happen is Ole Miss is going to have one shot at it to answer. And that's why I think it's tough in some of these situations. It's 3rd and 9. This is 2 down territory. Because I think if Stoops doesn't go for it, he won't get it back. And if he gets it back, it'll be with minimal time. Stoops is pointing to go for it, so that's pass interference, but they didn't call it. I'm sure that's going to get turned in. He had both arms around him. Oh no. South Florida just scored. 4th and 9, ball game, out of reach. Oh yeah, Stoops is hot. Stoops is fuming. Which I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too. It was a bad call. Oh, Missouri. Hmm. So what happened in the Florida game? Oh, caught them with their pants down. Yeah, it'll be a interesting endeavor. Yep, South Florida is rallying the troops. Mm. Yeah, we are reaching maximum capacity here. Ohio State's going to hang a 70 burger. Ooh, the Golden Bachelor. Yeah, I have that on. Yes, I do, Mr. Wise. I do have that on. But the topic du jour is Ole Miss Kentucky, which has not disappointed so far. Uh, I feel like Kentucky got screwed on that call, but that's just me. Because I think that was pass interference. Lane doing this late in games again. They're doing the we're gonna run the quarterback again. So it's fourth down. You're going to give Kentucky the ball back, and Simmons is on the ground hurt. Not putting any weight on that. Mm, not good. Not good. Mm. All right. What you got, Florida? Jesus. Gators not looking good. Not looking good for the Gators. Mm-mm-mm. 3rd and 7, tackled. If I'll just say this much: if South Florida wins this game, the pitchforks will be out for Billy again. All right, entering the second half. Yep, it's not going well in Gainesville. Calzada's out of the game. This ought to be interesting. All right, the Ohio State game is finally over. Oh, 15 yards. That's a makeup call. That is a makeup call if I've ever seen it. I want to look live at what. Oh no. The odds makers are still Clemson's like still minus 235, which is bizarre. But they are only down 2 touchdowns with the whole half of football to go. Oof. Just missed him. Calzada does not have his helmet. Michigan, Oklahoma. They've done a good job of speeding this up. Oh, that's a death sentence. So realistically, you're in 4 down. What is it going to be? 3rd and 7? It's going to be 3rd and 7. Um, oh, it's 3rd and 9. What the hell? That I bet they just threw a flag for face mask because his helmet was turned. I seen that. So what is that? 15 yards. Apple puts up 72. Hmm. 4th and 7. Here's the game. That's it. Pass rush from Old Miss. There is a minute 6 left in the Missouri game. Yeah, that's KU fans are hitting the turnstiles. Although I will say I think Missouri needs to go back to their that tiger logo emblem. Oh, Drink is pissed. He is pissed. Oh, Clemson's on the board. Drink is pissed about the unsportsmanlike. Since when did Arby's start making a loaded Italian? Wow, I'm shocked it's already in the fourth quarter of the Austin P game. Well, I guess they did start an hour, but they had the delay. It's in the fourth quarter at Gainesville. Florida needs a. Why didn't you throw that? It was wide open. Mm. So pretty much 2 first downs and it's over. Austin Simmons not in the game. Stoops has got all 3 timeouts. Yep. And that's a wrap for Missouri, Kansas. The kid from. Yeah, that's not a good visible sign. Austin Simmons is limping like that. They are in full throat down there in Gainesville. Third down. All right. Multi-view time. Because the multi-view I'm wanting is Mississippi State, Vandy, and Auburn all in 1. Okay, where are we at? Oh, that is a backbreaker. I know it fixes that. I think it's over for West Virginia. Florida's down there. Build a multi-box. Not with those options, I'm not. Kiffin is pumped. All right, Florida gets a first down. I don't think it'll let you combine any of those options. Um, that was almost picked. Or was that picked? If that kid picked that off, that is unbelievable. There's a hold. Yeah, I figured you guys are going to review that. Second goal for the Gators. If they don't get in today, that is two. That'll be 2 touchdowns they got taken off the board. Mm. There's a touchdown that Florida gets. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. So Clemson has going to go ahead by a point. Most of the Kentucky fans they're hitting the door. Don't think you're going to see much movement in the top 10 this week. Nothing spectacular. Yep, that was a good pick. A lot of Big Blue Nation is hitting the door. Um, the biggest thing that's going to be talked about going forward is going to be the foot of Austin Simmons. So Stoops has exhausted his timeouts. It's going to be third down. And if you're Ole Miss, realistically, you only need one play. You get the first down, it's over. Just what it is, it's over. It's Jover. Mm, I'm just trying to get this multi-box thing figured out. The options have to get better soon because they're literally not letting you pair it with anything of the 7:30 games, which is really annoying. Three hours and 40 minutes. So we're probably gonna have 15 minutes in between games. All right. So Florida's up one. Kick it deep. Lagway is not. Oh my gosh. The people on the 247 swamp are just unbelievable. So it's 3rd and 14. It's fourth down. So what's Lane gonna do here? I would say he's gonna kick it, right? So Lane's gonna take the delay a game and kick the field goal. Ohio hasn't beat West Virginia since 1949. All the people that bet Ole Miss plus 10.5 are going to be some upset pandas. All right. Field goal try. Coming for Ole Miss. Oh, they just took the kicker out. Mm, running into the kicker. I would say it's rotator cuff for Calzada or Cardoza. I think it's Calzada. I've been calling him Calzada all day, so why change now? Yep. They are hitting the turnstiles at Kroger Field. So it looks like Ohio is going to possibly close out West Virginia here. Their first win since 1949 over West Virginia. So if Ohio converts this, the game is over. Yep, he's a yard short. So West Virginia is going to have 17 seconds and no timeouts. Oof. Their backup quarterback is not ready to play for Kentucky. Young fella, you better learn how to slide. That's unfortunate. Oh, what the catch and the run. What a catch. What a play. Why would you call timeout, Lane? West Virginia might set themselves up for a um They kicking a field goal? I think West Virginia's going to have a shot to throw it at the end zone. That's it. That is going to be a hard pill to swallow in Morgantown. I know that. Still garbage options. The Gators need to go down and score a touchdown. Onsides. Nope. Get to watch them come out and take one final kneel down. That was a lot closer than what it needed to be for Ole Miss. I will say that much. It was a lot closer than it needed to be. I will say Stoops' kids played hard. So there it is. Ole Miss victorious over Kentucky. We will get everything ready to rock and roll for the Michigan game. And that'll be that. And we'll see you in a few.